New Mexico's Hot Chefs is brought to you in part by Jemez, where innovation has finally caught up with your appetite for the extraordinary.
We're back with Charles Dell in this great generic kitchen at Builder Source Appliance Gallery. The ribs, double knuckles.
Thank
I
you.
can cut that with a fork.
All right.
I love the ribs, but I'm a dessert guy. I'm looking at this over here.
Chocolate cherry bread pudding.
Chocolate cherry bread pudding. What do you think?
It smells wonderful.
Smells wonderful. Looks wonderful. I'm hungry.
Show you
Let's get to rock and rolling.
All right. First, the cherry part, because these have to macerate for about an hour. Macerating is like marinating, but it's what we apply that term specifically when we're using alcohol. And it is kind of optional. You don't have to do it, but Kirsch is a cherry brandy, and it adds a nice flavor to it. In the meantime, while those are macerating, we're going to heat up our milk and add our sugar to it. Basically, we're making a custard here.
They look like a good portion of sugar.
Yeah, you know, it's sweet. We need a little sweet.
Well, you can get all these recipes on your MexicosHotChefs.com, so you'll know how much sugar you have in there.
So we're going to let that come to a slight, not just before boil.
Okay.
And in the meantime, we're going to mix the bread.
Okay.
And chocolate.
My favorite. Any particular type of chocolate?
Well, this is a French chocolate, but you can use any bittersweet chocolate, like Ghirardelli is delicious, Scharfenberger, to use some American types of chocolate. Okay. Now we're going to take our macerated cherries here in the meantime and strain them of their liquid a little bit, spoon them into the molds, and you'll notice that the molds are sitting in a water bath.
Yeah, what's that for?
Well, this allows, when we're baking them, it controls the temperature so that the custard won't curdle. If we were to just put these molds directly into the oven, then it might cook too fast, and you'd end up with kind of like a scrambled egg.
Makes sense.
Okay, so we've got this now. Our bread and our chocolate mixed together.
Okay.
Put it into each of the molds. Kind of remove that from there. There we go.
This looks like fun.
It is fun.
A fun dish, yep.
Yeah, finger food.
There you go.
And you can actually make this ahead and keep it for 2-3 days, and then just warm it up. So it's a really nice wow dessert to have for a couple of days ahead. And I always think about that when I'm entertaining. Same thing with the short ribs that we did. You can keep them ahead. Okay.
Move this out of your way.
Thank you. Now we're going to add our egg mixture to the milk. So we're going to make a custard with it.
Take that for you as well.
Thank you. And you don't actually have to make this like a creme brulee where you have to make it into a custard. You just are mixing everything together here.
So you're not going to bring that to a big boil?
I'm not,
Just gonna...
because I just want the eggs to temper slightly.
Okay.
And then I'm going to make it easy for myself to pour back into my molds, like this.
How sweet that is.
Yeah, and it's kind of, what's nice about this bread pudding is it's not going to be a super dense style. It's going to be more of like a flan with bread in it. Which kind of speaks to our New Mexico culture a little bit. And, you know, I just don't like those really dense bread puddings that taste like they've been made with 7-day-old bread. This is very different.
It looks nice and light. I gotta ask these people over here, what's it like?
It's delicious.
It looks good inside.
It tastes like Christmas.
Christmas! Did you hear that?
That's super nice. Nice to hear. So the finishing touch is just to top it with a little bit of butter here on top, because that'll help it to get a nice brown crust as it's baking. And we're just going to put it right into a 325-degree oven in its water bath. If you would be so kind as to open our oven here.
It would be my pleasure.
Fabulous.
What do you think of this generic kitchen?
I love this generic kitchen. I want one. May I have that? It just so happens that I have one in here that I had put in earlier. If you're a lucky guy, it might be for you.
I am lucky. It looks so good.
And here we go.
You know what? I don't want to share this with you, but we have to. Let's do a little toast here.
Check it out.
Oh, it's nice and bubbly. Watch out, it's a little hot.
Let me hold that for you.
Thank you so much. I'll hold it for you as well.
Thank you.
Oh, I can smell the chocolate now we dug into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here we go.
We'll be back with more of New Mexico's hot chefs because I'm going to chow down.
Liking it?
Fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
New Mexico's hot chefs will be right back.